Hey guys, we are live at Allergy Partners in Massaponax, Spotsylvania, and this is the first real live Ask the Expert, so we're super excited. Allergy Partners has 3 locations, one in Fredericksburg, one in Massaponax, and one in Stafford. Just go through the store. So we are myth busting style, 3 common allergy myths that people have. And we are here with Dr. Wenger. Let's go say hi. Hello.
Hey Brenda, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
To see you.
Good to
Doing
see
well.
you too. So we are myth busting some
Yes.
common allergy myths.
Yes.
All right.
All right, shall we begin?
Let's do it. What do you got?
So we're going to start with local honey helped my allergies.
Okay, that's one I believe.
Yes, a lot of people do. So let's start with talking about bees and what bees do. So
Okay.
they collect nectar from flowers, and these flowers have quite heavy pollen. The pollen doesn't really get airborne, so they usually don't cause much in the way of allergic rhinitis or make your eyes itch and that type of thing. And then they transfer that pollen to another flowering plant. And again, these plants, their pollen does not get airborne. Now, the big 3 types of pollen that cause problems: tree pollen in the spring, grass in the summer, and ragweed weeds in the fall. All of these are windblown. They're designed to blow around for miles, and that is how they pollinate. They don't need bees, nor are bees very interested in them. So, in fact, bees have very little of the pollen on them that are the types that cause allergic rhinitis or
Gotcha.
conjunctivitis. And there was a pretty good study looking at this issue. So they took pasteurized honey that was not local, they took unpasteurized local honey, and then they took local honey that actually put pollen into. It was birch pollen actually, but they loaded up manually the honey with birch pollen. The pasteurized honey, no improvement in clinical symptoms. The unpasteurized local honey, unfortunately, no improvement in clinical symptoms. Now, the honey that they put the pollen into, that people used, they actually did find some improvement. But again, this is honey that had large amounts of pollen actually put into it, by an individual. It wasn't a natural honey.
Okay.
So interestingly, that study is often used by proponents of honey as an indication on why it works.
Right.
But again, unfortunately, that was honey that was manipulated by man, unfortunately, not just by bees. I will say, though, if you're using local honey and it seems to help, it's not going to hurt. Keep using it. However, if you're diabetic or for a real young kid, it's kind of a no-no. So unfortunately, busted. Yep.
All right, what's our second myth?
Yeah, so our second myth is, hey, I've got bad allergies to pets, but I can go get this hypoallergenic dog and I'll be fine.
Right.
Yes.
No.
So hypoallergenic dogs, they are cute, quite cute, particularly the golden doodles, I would say. Anyway, I digress. And they do shed less, so you will have less hair around your house with those. But unfortunately, it's not the hair that causes problems with pets. It's dander, and this is microscopic skin shedding by dogs. So there were 2 studies looking at this. One simply looked at the levels of allergen in homes between hypoallergenic dog owners and regular dogs. And they found no difference. The levels in the homes were exactly the same. So, yeah, and then there was another study looking at both levels in homes and also dander levels that are produced by animals between hypoallergenic dogs, purebred dogs, and then also with mixed breeds. And in that study, amazingly enough, the hypoallergenic dogs actually produced more dander than the other guys. So, interestingly, it's more of an individual pattern. Just like humans are different, they may have different hair patterns, some might have dander, some don't. Between one lab and another lab, there might be a huge difference between allergen levels. So often I'll have patients actually try to spend some time with a specific dog that they are thinking of adopting, just to be sure that all is well, before
I like that.
adoption. Yeah, it's good. It's good all around too.
Yeah,
just to kind of
absolutely.
be comfortable with them. Now, one thing for sure is immunotherapy or allergy shots works well for pet allergies. So if you are allergic to your dog, be it hypoallergenic or not, I guess I should use some quotes there, but we can still help you for sure, and often we can induce tolerance in patients.
Is that safe for children?
It is safe for children. We don't use it under the age of 4 generally.
So older kids.
So a little bit older kids, but the earlier you start, there's actually a benefit to immunotherapy if properly done with asthma prevention. And the earlier you start the immunotherapy, the more likely it is that that's going to impact prevention of asthma. So that's a good.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. That actually transitions to another myth. Yes.
Oh, busted the second one.
That would, yeah, pop. So, lastly, in talking about pet allergies in kids, my kid is too young to be allergy tested. That is absolutely not true. Kids can develop allergy to pets, to dust mite, to foods at a very young age. One thing that is true is that in order to have an allergy to exposure, one way or another, you've had to have a previous exposure. So, you're not quite 1 yet, it's your first spring that you've ever experienced, you're not going to develop allergies against tree pollen at that time, but you may the next year.
Okay.
So we actually end up testing quite a few younger kids, and we can work with allergen avoidance and things like that early until they can do shots.
But you can develop an allergy at any time. Is that true?
That is correct.
Okay.
Even in adulthood.
Okay.
And when you're very young. Unfortunately, we can always develop allergies, though the most impressive expansion of allergen stimuli is up until the age of 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, geez, thanks for busting the myths for us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So if anybody's curious, by the end of the day, we're going to put the research that Dr. Wenger was referencing at the bottom in the comment section. And if you have any questions for him, feel free to ask in the comment section too. He'll be checking back off and on to answer those for you. Or even better, you could always make an appointment and talk one-on-one with Dr. Wenger or any of the other doctors here. What's a good number?
371-5660. That's
Awesome.
our main number. So, yeah, I really appreciate it, Brenda. You guys do a great job, and
Thank
it's been
you
fun.
so much.
All right.
This was awesome. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye, guys.